So I told you all of that, but where I started was I wanted to tell you the story about taking Spark on the airplane.
Yes.
Now, this was early on when I was still trying to drum up some awareness of Spark and Sparkette. There is a corporate plane that has routes between Des Moines and Columbus quite often because we have a large corporate facility there in Des Moines. I flew out to Des Moines to do a workshop commercially, and actually Matt Pearson was with me, the tall fella. And we went out commercially, did the workshop, headed back on the corporate plane. And so, I don't know, I mean, you know, Spark's pretty important to me, so I wasn't going to stuff him in my luggage. Honestly. So, you know, it's a small plane, right? So you just walk out to the tarmac and get on the thing. What was very interesting about this is all the other folks on the plane with me. So I had Mike Lex, who is like a senior leader of our commercial division. I have Eric Smith, who is a senior leader of our personal lines, underwriting and product. Matt and I, and then a claims leader from the Western Zone, and a few other folks. So, as of course we're walking out to the plane, Mike's following me, and Julie, why do you have an orange frog? The obvious question. I said, where's your orange frog? And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I said, well, I'll be glad to tell you about it when we get on the plane. He chose a seat up front. There's like benches like this on the side. There's, you know, side benches, and then the front two seats are like the real like nice leather captain seats and whatever. So he originally took one of those, and then I'm sitting back here, and Spark is here, buckled in, right beside me. This is how loony I really am. And so, you know, Frog's here, and everybody else, and hey, we're just chit-chatting, and of course they're starting to ask, why'd you guys go to Des Moines? Well, we're doing this orange frog class. We're telling the story about the orange frog. After we took off, and after we get in the sky, he turns around and asks, I forget who it was, whoever was sitting here right beside me, to trade seats with him. So he comes back, and it just continued like that. That's what I'm saying. It was a rotation of people coming back, interviewing me and the frog around Happiness Advantage. It was the craziest thing. I'm looking at Matt like, what is happening here? And it was just all because, right? I didn't really have to say too much. And then we had this great story, and it was a triple I group that we were still doing in Des Moines, so it was still part of Gary's, or it was AGA, you know, that allied group.
Yep.
And so we had that great story to tell about what they experienced, what Gary had done with us so far, and immediately, you know, they were all on board with it. My group's got to be part of this. How do I find out more? You know, it was just one of those events, and so I just walk off the plane like, well, there you have it. I mean, it's that simple. You just carry the orange frog. But isn't that a crazy kind of metaphor? Because I can't go anywhere these days. Like, if today is exceptionally different that I'm in black and gray, because everyone asks me where my orange is. I'm like, I'm always wearing my orange, you right? But that's just it. I mean, it's that simple, but that's how people now identify what we're representing. They understand the glossary now. Yesterday, a little bit of a challenging meeting we had with the operations team, because we are growing so fast, as I've been telling you guys. I want to introduce our temp to you, if she's still here, that we hired to help with the registration and everything. But with bringing the agents on board, we don't have a way to, they're independent business people, how do we charge back? Well, just operational admin stuff. The meeting became green when everyone started talking about why we couldn't do it, we don't have the processes, we don't have the admin system. All the problems came up, you know. And it's just so natural for us now to say, well, this could be a falling up moment. Everyone stops, looks at me like, and how's that, Julie, right? But that's how we've changed the script, just even in the conversation. Just when you see it tunneling down, it's so natural now, you know, for, not everybody, but for all of us living our orange, to use that so naturally. And the fun thing about it, though, yeah, is like people are getting it, right? They understand. They connect with you. Oh, yeah, maybe it is. And it immediately just puts them in a different place. And then all of a sudden, guess what? We came out of the room with 4 possible solutions. Where if we would have let it be, we would just never come up with one. It wouldn't have happened. So it's starting to infiltrate. It's starting to ripple out. And the more people hear about it or kind of catch on to what you're saying, yeah, I mean, even in my strategy document, like it will tell you another script change is used to be really formal and like the language and everything that you would use professionally. When I write my orange communications and reports, I always refer to a frog grad, for example. They're orange frogs. They're sparks. Here's a heron. What's our challenge? Because if you're going to really embrace it,
yep,
right, and have meaning with it, then let's use the glossary, right? Let's connect with that. But the fun part of it is it gets people's attention when their minds are like going down, what, I can't do that, we can't do that, this is not working, whatever. As soon as you just use one of those terms, yeah, the mind switches in a different direction, and then you can almost see it happen. It's like it just kind of stop, like, oh, the light bulb came on. But that's what I do.
That's
where beforehand.